Kloss congratulates the Vanderloop equipment team for its well-deserved recognition. For more than 25 years, Vanderloop has been one of the leading retailers of Kloss Jaguar forage harvesters throughout the U.S. We at Kloss are proud to be part of the Vanderloop team.
So we have a bigger customer of ours that they rely very heavily on us to fix their stuff. They have mechanics, but for the most part, we are sending our guys out to fix tractors, choppers, mowers, all of it. They had called, I think that was last year, one I can remember fairly distinctly, third cutting. Very, very busy. God, with the dryness, everything was going so dang fast. When you get calls in, like you get out the phone and one goes after another, you lose track of things, hence the writing down of things is very important. But he had called, was having an issue, and it said, yep, we'll try to get someone out by you as soon as possible. My guys are kind of all out and around. It gets to be an hour, get another call. You try to stay, in contact with them. And finally, it was about I think it was 3 hours because I still hadn't gotten a tech back. And they had gotten pretty upset. And again, a lot of it was just letting them vent and, telling them yeah, we got an issue, and we ended up having a tech from another location. That's the other nice thing about having the multiple locations. Everything's so spread out, that customers are fairly spread out, that if we can't get to somebody, Beaver Dam's probably about a horse a piece, that if they have a free one, then they can, it's nice. We kind of jump around and help each other when needed. And that's what we ended up doing. But I guess a lot of the time when that happens, nobody ever wants to get yelled at. I don't really care. Not that I don't care. It's not going to bother me too bad, that it's as long as they can get their frustration out. Cause then you find out too, if they have a problem and they need it fixed and they're waiting for a technician, then you also find out there's about 3 other problems that don't pertain to you that are also happening at the same time. Mm-hmm. And that's what's, getting them all worked up on entirely of that too. But yeah, that was the one I think we ended up sending one of the techs from Beaver Dam up to get them going. Cause yeah, you only got so many techs sometimes. Yeah. Over-the-counter tickets are usually they get started and they get closed. Or, if you got to order a part, the longest it's going to be open is 2 days. Warranty, service call, things of that nature. I don't want them open longer than a week usually. In the case of a back-ordered part, I'm really good for that too. In the case of a back-ordered part, if I can't get it out of Acreage or Kloss, I will usually call another dealer or look at other options. Parts Depot is a huge one. I was using it this morning here too with Ed. He's got an older Massey disc. Parts Depot is out of Chilton by us. And what they do is when a dealership has excessive stock of something older they haven't sold, they'll buy it off of them and they'll keep it in a warehouse. So you can look for older parts there, things of that nature. I love using Parts Depot. The girls there are awesome. But I'll call other dealers. Susie Chapstick is very friendly and can usually be nice enough that they'll usually let a part go. I'll usually have to send it back, once we get ours. Yeah. But I get asked a lot to call other dealers and be nice and see if they're willing to share for a time being. And yeah, so
the answer most often yes.
I've only been turned down twice in 2.5 years.
What was the reason?
Oh, they already used it on someone else's piece of equipment. Okay. It was on an open ticket for them. And yeah, so most of the time they're like, well, I guess so I've only gotten turned down twice, I think. The other dealers in the area we work with they're usually pretty good, and we get called for stuff too. And we try to help as much as we can. A lot of the time it's if I can buy it off of you, I'll have you a new one in 2 weeks. We'll send them out. It's a lot of exchanging, which works out good. Because they might have it on the shelf, but they might not use it for a while. But, and whereas we need it, it's a lot of exchanging. And if you're willing to help them, they're usually willing to help you when the time comes. So